Hi, good morning. Welcome back to Mike Makes It. You may have seen in an earlier video I'm making a small CNC mill. So I'm getting the bits together. And ultimately some of these wheels will be used on the device. And they comprise of a plastic wheel like such. Very hard plastic. A couple of bearings. Get these out of a box. There you go. A couple of bearings. And what I'm told, or they tell me, is called a precision shim. Basically, it's a 1mm thick washer, but it's not just pressed steel. It's precision, shall we say? It's 1mm, and that goes between the two bearings in the wheel. And I'll show you how they suggest you put it together. So let me move that out the way a tad. Right, one bearing, one wheel. Let's get a little bit closer for you. Right, they tell me you put the bearing on the deck, wheel on the top, press down. That seats the bearing in, which is all well and good. Precision shim in next, then another bearing straight on the top. Ow! And with a great deal of pushing, it all clips in. All very nice. The shim in the middle normally goes a little bit astray, but that's easy enough just to straighten up. Screwdriver or some other pointy instrument, push him to the center and push down again, and that's one wheel made up. Now I've made 24 wheels up and I nearly had broken thumbs. It really is a lot of pressure to push down on there, and the plan is possibly, I've had a few little inquiries, making the CNC mill not on a business sort of level, but making a few for friends who've inquired. So I'm going to be having more than a couple of dozen of these to press out. So I'll bring this thing in, little press I bought off eBay. Let me just kind of zoom out for you, see if we can see it. Now I bought this in the summer, not for anything to do with this at all. It's for pressing eyelets, I think you call it eyelets, into canvas material. To stop them being pulled out, you tie the canvas down or the sheeting down, and it helps protect the material. The rope wouldn't just rip out. Now this cost me, I'm laughing, this cost me about £7 off eBay. So it's throwaway money. We did what we wanted to do with the eyelets. They're fine. But that brings me on to where the video's coming from today. Come with a few little dies here. You pop in there and you change the heads basically, depending on the size of the eyelets you're using. And it came with 3 different sorts. But let's get that out the way. Now what I was thinking, go back down again, there we go. I can make some new ones of these up so I don't destroy the machine, if you like, because I still may want to press some more eyelets in the material. I'm going to make a couple of these up to suit these wheels and do a little diagram, see if I'll say it's going to be similar to the dies that came with it, but I want to make it out of aluminium, so it's a little bit softer. So it's not drawn to scale at all. There's be the lower die, something along those lines. No thread on it, that'll just drop into the base of the machine. But I'm going to drive or have a 5mm pin running up the middle. That'll be on a spring. It'll be something like that. There's a hole all the way through to the base. This part will be threaded. Mr. Spring will live here. So when the upper die moves down, because that's what will happen, on this top assembly I would have placed one bearing, one wheel, the precision shim would have been slipped over, another bearing will sit on the top, then this assembly will come down, push the pin down, but also compress the two bearings into the plastic wheel itself. Hopefully with very little effort from myself. So that's the plan. We'll head off to the garage, see what aluminium scrap I've got, and make a couple of bits up. Hopefully it's not going to take too long. I'll put the kettle on the way down, so it should all be good. So I'll see you in the garage in a minute. Okay, we got a bit of a plan. I found a bit of 25mm bar which I'm going to use. That's going to act as a base. I've scribbled out some little drawing here for the base. Give me an idea what I'm making, dimensions I need to machine it to on the lathe. That's the top part. I only need a little flat bit of aluminium. So yeah, okay. And a spring, of course. And that's probably all we're going to need, except for a grub screw or a set screw in the base. So over to my lathe and let's see what I can do over there. Okay, as you can see, machining's underway. It's got to face that surface off. I've already put a 8mm tap in the end thread. That's going to form the top of the unit. This is the base. Pretty much done it. I've drilled out 9mm tapped to 10. It's going to be approximately 30mm long, so that should be about right. I wanted to keep the video short, so I've done the machining off camera, but I just wanted to bring you over to this chuck. It is on a previous video when I did I call it an upgrade. Took this chuck out, still use this, because what I found, the one I've replaced it with, the one you can see in there, the keyless chuck, is quite a bit longer. So I lose some of my centre distance. So this gets swapped in and out. But this is the first time I really use this now. And I've been tapping with it, putting some threads in. Get that in focus. Well, that's a tap. You've seen them before. But this thing, it puts a death grip on whatever you put in there. There's not even a hint of either the drill or the thread, the tap turning. So very, very good. I'll put a link in the description. That was only about £30 delivered with the M2 Morse taper that came with it. So yeah, very happy with that. Anyhow, back to the machining. I think I've just about done all the bits. As you can see, these are all just waiting to be put back together. 2 blocks of alley, the bolt that goes up the middle, little lock-in screw to hold the bolt, and the spring in place. So I'm going to put a little dab of Loctite to hold these bits together, otherwise they're going to fall to pieces. So this will pop into there, like so. Spring in there. Now it's a hollow bolt because I needed the shaft of the bolt to protrude from the bottom because it's a bit tight for space. So I'm just going to put some locking compound on this because there's not a lot of thread going on there. I don't want it to fall out. So let's just see if we can get that in there. Taking all the glue off. Yep. See, when you push that, I get a little bit coming out the bottom, but that's not a problem. So long as it'll compress lower than the thickness of the bolt, which the wheel, I'm sorry, which it should do. Let me see if we can get that on shot. Imagine I'm closing the press. Oh, there you go. Imagine I'm closing the press. The pin does protrude a little bit from the bottom. That doesn't matter. But obviously, if this didn't go down all the way, I wouldn't get full compression on the bearings. So we'll give that a couple of seconds to set up. One more bolt here. I hope this is on shot. Just coat there. That's the top part of the press. And This will thread into it like that. I'll just take that over to the vise, nip that in. Then that part screws into there. So we'll give that a couple of minutes for the glue to go off. Then I'll come back and I'll show you it working. Okay, there it is, put together. You can see the little piston will bob up and down. Got the compression there like I want. There's an adjustment screw here which I've adjusted to prevent crushing the whole assembly. Basically how I've adjusted it. Drop the arm and there's still a little bit of movement in the roller there, or in the wheel. Only a fraction, but at least I know it's not being crushed. There's two variations of the wheel that I've got. Which are these? You've got the normal Xtreme wheel and there's a mini Xtreme wheel. I'll put links in the description. Well, let's see if it works. Let's build a bearing assembly up. So the whole idea of this is you can't go wrong. So let's see if we can. Bearing, wheel. I've got to put one of the precision shims in. Probably easier to put on before the wheel, but there, nevertheless. Another bearing. Just to line it all up. Let's see if it works. One press. Look at that. I've impressed myself. All done. Job's a good one. Didn't hurt either thumb. Let's try on the smaller wheel. Should work just the same. They're the same thickness, same width wheel, so I shouldn't have to adjust anything. Bearing, shim, wheel, top bearing. Just jiggle it into place, make it nice. Down we go. Now it looks as if I do need to adjust that slightly, the adjustment screw on the press there, because the wheels haven't fully gone home. So certainly if I need to go from one wheel size to the other, I will just need to tweak the adjustment screw at the top on the press. Let's see if you can see what's happened there. Hopefully you can see that. Bearing's not fully gone home either side. As I say, that's just an adjustment on the press. On this one, that was adjusted correctly. Bearings always slightly out. They're never quite flush with the wheel outside, so that's how it would have happened if I pushed it with my thumb. So I said earlier, the shim in the middle doesn't always align, so you just need to pull that into the middle. I will put that back on the press, just see if I can hear it click at all. May have to go. Yeah, do you know, I think I'm going to have to just drop that down a tad, just a fraction. Let's try that. Because it should pinch the shim in the middle. Still not quite doing it, so I need to go a tad more, but I think you get the point here. Rather than breaking your thumbs, it's just a nice easy method of doing it. See if that'll work now. Yep, that's captured the shim in the middle there. Oh yeah, this video is probably only relevant to people going to be building these wheels up for maybe CNC mills, etc. But it certainly saved my thumbs. If you enjoyed the video, why not give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because there's going to be different projects coming along all the time. Anyhow, thanks for watching.